Last week, there was a lot of talk about the Mueller investigation, and that was because Attorney General William Barr had released a summary of the information that Mueller had in that report, and that was, of course, about the Russian collusion, the Trump campaign, all of that. Now, the actual report, of course, has not been made public. There is definitely an effort to make that public, but it has not happened yet. That has not stopped many people from chiming in and giving their take on what I guess is real here and exonerating President Donald Trump.
Like coming to conclusions based on a report that really hasn't been released yet.
One of those people is Representative Tulsi Gabbard, the Democrat from Hawaii and a 2020 presidential candidate as well. So on Twitter, she posted a video and she did give her take about, I guess, the summary report and just, I guess, her overall feelings about it.
I strongly supported Mueller being allowed to complete his investigation into the allegations that President Trump had colluded with Russia to influence the outcome of the 2016 elections. Now, I'm glad that Mueller was able to do so and has submitted his findings. The American people need to be allowed to see Mueller's report. But now that Mueller has reported that his investigation revealed no such collusion, we all need to put aside our partisan interests and recognize that finding that the President of the United States did not conspire with Russia to interfere with our elections is a good thing for our country. Because if the President had been indicted for conspiring with Russia to interfere with and affect the outcome of our elections, it would have precipitated a terrible crisis that could have led to civil war. So we should all be relieved that President Trump was not found to have colluded with the Russians.
Oh, I think her and a lot of people, I can name a few, maybe, what's his name, Michael Tracy, Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald, some other dude named Aaron something, whatever his name is. I think people are jumping the gun here, and you don't want to, people shouldn't do the same thing that they accused Rachel Maddow of doing. Now, I don't know, has she seen the report? Has she seen the report?
Who?
Tulsi, has she seen the report?
Has she seen the report? I don't believe anybody has seen the report.
This is
except for William Barr.
This is interesting, though. She says she supported the investigation, right? That's what she said. Those are her words.
Right.
So if she supported the investigation, wouldn't she support the full release?
Oh, well, she said that. She said that too. She said everybody needs to see the full report.
I'm sorry.
She did say that.
Maybe I should rephrase that.
Yeah.
If she said she supported the investigation, right, wouldn't you think she would kind of hold off on making assertions or coming to conclusions when the report hasn't been released yet? That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
that's a logical place to go.
I think the starting point is interesting. Tulsi Gabbard supported the investigation. Think about what that says, though. If you're supporting an investigation, that means you thought that there was reasonable cause.
Right.
So what was that reasonable cause? And the people out there who both support Tulsi Gabbard and think this all was some sort of like fabrication by the DNC, which I can actually prove that it's not. What do you have to say about that? She thinks it was, she thought the investigation was worthy, which means that she thinks that there was reasonable cause there. And I actually think there was too.
Yeah.
If you're going to fire an FBI director and and blatantly say, I had Russia on my mind, that's going to bring suspicions. If you, your son, and your campaign manager schedule a meeting with somebody who you think are Russians, that's suspicion, regardless of whether something actually occurred there or not. When you have your son communicating with WikiLeaks in personal DMs, that looks suspicious. When your son comes out and says, "Hey, we have a lot of trademarks and a lot of business with Russia," that just looks suspicious. That just looks suspicious. And I'm not saying something went on, but it just looks suspicious. And go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm with her on the first part of that commentary. The comments about her being supportive of the investigation, her comments about us, all of us citizens in the United States of America being able to see the full report so that we can come to a conclusion. But then she comes to a conclusion without the report, which it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I think it's very possible that there was no collusion. I think it's very possible. Now, I can't say for sure because I don't have any evidence to do so. So I don't know why people are just jumping at this opportunity when they don't have all the information. But the last part of what she says is what really, it goes off the rails for me. She says that if President Trump was found to have colluded with Russia and the Russians, that it would have precipitated a terrible crisis, her words, and it could have possibly led to a civil war. I'm struggling here with the thought that this could come to a civil war, because when I think about a civil war, of course, I think we've only had one in the United States of America, and that was years ago. That was over 150 years ago. I mean, when you talk about a civil war, the last civil war, again, that was the southern states seceding from the Union because they wanted to protect the institution of slavery. Here, if Donald Trump is accused of colluding with the Russians, the logical place I would go is that the agitators would be supporters of Donald Trump.
See, now you're getting somewhere.
That's where I would go.
I don't know if she actually thought about what she was actually insinuating by asserting that there could be a civil war. I'm not sure if she actually played it out in her mind before she said it, or if she was being purposefully indirect. Because who would a civil war involve? Would it involve politicians? No. Would it involve the military? What? No. What would it involve?
I don't know.
Who? Civil war between who?
So if the Trump supporters are the agitators, who are they going after? Who would they be going after?
Well, that I think you already have the answer, because what group would initiate it? What group would feel slighted because Trump was taken down? What group would feel slighted? I wonder. Because it wouldn't be those who are opposed to Trump. Yeah. Why would they want to fight anybody? It would be Trump's supporters. But she has to be indirect about it. There's no way you could assert that there was going to be a civil war without having that in mind.
But who are they going to go after? Because the people that would have come to this conclusion that Russia and Trump colluded
would have been Republicans.
And
see that again, the reason why I had to kind of throw that in there is because there is this constant narrative that the DNC and the Democrats are responsible for the investigation, and they are not. Now, they might be responsible for blaming Russia,
right?
But you can have both of these thoughts at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. They're not mutually exclusive at all. You can say, yeah, the Democrats, they're just, blaming the Russians for, Hillary Clinton losing. That can be true. That can be true.
Right.
You know what else can be true? That they are not in control of the investigation. We have to establish, how the investigation started and who ordered the special counsel. It wasn't Democrats. No. It wasn't Democrats. Rod Rosenstein.
That's right.
And he's a lifelong Republican.
That's right.
The head of the FBI is Christopher Wray. He's a Republican. Who was the head of CIA at the time? Mike Pompeo. Yep. Who is the CIA now? Haspel.
Yep. Gina Haspel.
These are all Republicans. So kind of what people are suggesting by jumping from, Democrats are blaming Russians. That's why we have the investigation. What you are saying is the Republicans did the DNC and the Democrats a favor.
Yes.
They are providing the Democrats with a favor.
By going after Trump.
They are doing them a solid.
Would make no
sense.
Because,
again, if that's the case, if the DNC, which they are, it's kind of blaming Russia, that would mean the Republicans were willing to ride along with that because they're in control of the investigation.
And think about, again, the possibility of a civil war. Again, this would have to be started by Trump supporters. In general, it would be Trump supporters. Which Trump supporters, we don't know. But in general, it would have to be them that started the war, the conflict. If they don't have a military with them, they ain't doing shit. if they don't have governments with them, if they don't have instruments of power, I don't care about the arsenal that they have in their homes. If they don't have military power, police, like law enforcement, if they don't have instruments like those, they ain't doing shit. They can't do anything. So a civil war would need multiple state governments, multiple people, multiple entities of significant power that have a significant arsenal to actually commence this civil war. That's why I can't, like, to me, these comments from Tulsi Gabbard, I'm sorry. I just can't get down with them. I don't understand them. They sound idiotic. I understand that she's trying to portray a situation where, hey, this is a good thing. And look, I mean, yeah, overall, okay. Yeah, I don't want the president to be conspiring with another foreign, with a foreign country. Of course not. So I can understand why she would say that. I can understand why she would say, yeah, I was supportive of the investigation. Yeah, we all need to see the report. I don't understand why she's coming out before the full report is made public. I don't understand why she is fear-mongering, saying that this could have led to a civil war when that's absurd.